This was just a quick video, just a quick YouTube video. I'm very grateful whenever I get comments on my YouTube channel, and I do read them, and I do try and answer back if I'm able to, but I really appreciate that anyone who gives their time out, because it's of God's will. Whether that comment is good or bad, I don't know. Only a person who writes comment knows, and the comment knows. Only God knows what the intention behind the comments are, because I find it much easier to talk to people directly one-on-one or even on the phone, but when people send messages like texts and things, it's very hard to disown what their emotions are, what they actually mean, and try and decipher what their thoughts are when you put them on text, because you can't tell what their emotions are via text, so it can be very difficult. But I appreciate the time and energy that they have took out of their day to pass that comment on the YouTube channel, and I praise God for that. Whether it be seen as good or bad, I don't know, but I just appreciate that that was God's will that they comment on that, left a comment. But I sometimes read other comments, and if there's some comments there that have there's always something you can learn from others, what people say, and so I usually process what someone says and try and decipher it my own way. But it'd be much easier if I was able to talk to the person face to face, so they can tell me face to face what they meant by the words, because I don't want to misinterpret what they're saying, and that's why I find like people texting communication very difficult, because one, you don't know what the person's thinking when they're writing down the comment, what those words mean to that person, because I can interpret that differently. That's why text and writing is more difficult. But when you know the person, it's much more easier to tell what he means by the words. So it's like some people can, when I'm like writing words and things, they might perceive what I'm writing differently than what I meant. So it's much easier when I write it, and then if I meet my person and explain what I meant by these words. But when you're having someone send a text message to someone, they might interpret the words differently based on their own emotions, based on what they meant. Something is not as clear cut, especially if you're like me, and when you have Asperger's syndrome, that God bless me, that makes me kind of human interaction or communication is like a minefield for me. So I'm very direct with what I say, and I say what I say. Even when I'm texting, it's the same way as I'm talking, but some people, when they're talking, texting, it's different, and vice versa. And it's often led to miscommunication, so I try, and when I read comments, just because I can't know the truth, it's only God knows, and that's why it gives me faith. So God knows what a person's thinking at that very moment, because God can see the person writing the comment, and that's been sent to via to YouTube channel. I don't have the answer clue. Sometimes it's a question, and I try my hardest to answer some question I can. Sometimes it's a statement that I can't tell if they were joking or if they were writing in a positive or negative way. For instance, I don't understand sarcasm, so you can come up to me and say something sarcastic, and I actually think you're actually saying something positive. I can't differentiate between positive and negativity, and it's much harder. It's hard really when someone talks to me, because they could be deceptive, they can be lying, they could be that way. But it's even hard with words. That's why I kind of stay away from kind of using text messaging. So if you do leave a comment, I will see it, and I write it down, and I'll be praying and thinking about you, and then and I thank God at night, and I thank God to pray for your soul, and pray for your loved ones and all around you. That's what's the most important. And if you have any questions, I will try my best to answer to the best of the ability that God has given me. This is just update in case. See, I have a choice. I could do what some YouTube channels do and just disable the comments, but I don't get the logic in that, because one, this word is temporary, so those comments in the future will cease to exist when the word ends, so there's no point to just spend my time disabling comments. Two, there might be some information that someone might leave a comment that might either be amusing, or it might give me more insight into the way the person thinks, or it might give me more knowledge. So I am someone that doesn't disable comments and things. I'm very comfortable with the fact I know the truths of the existence of humanity, and that's why I don't disable comments. Because one, this world is temporary, so that person's using time to leave a comment, which I give thanks to God for everything anyway, because there's a purpose why God did that. So I don't let it affect me. God has given me the Holy Spirit, so He's given me a tough skin, as they say. Tough skin? My skin is made of iron, or it's tough skin, hard skin. So I don't let anything affect me, because if you're going to be a comedian and have a good sense of humour, you must be, one, able to laugh at yourself. Because just today now, I went into a place, into a building, and there was a door there, but the door was shut. And I thought the place was like closed, even though there's someone inside there, so I was confused. Then someone told me, there's another door around the other side, and then I just went around and I opened that door, and I just went inside and I was just laughing at myself. It was like, they had one door this side, and I thought that was the only door. But then just at the other side, there was another door. Like regular stuff like that happens. Mistakes I make. Usually when I'm walking, I usually hit my knee off stuff, and then I just put myself in stitches. Or it's good to just laugh at yourself, and that's why I don't disable the comments, because it's not worth using God's time that God's given me just to spend the time just disabling the comments section. I don't do that. I respect the free will that God gives everyone. So if someone wants out of their free will to leave a comment on my YouTube channel, they can. But I hope it's something productive that they're doing, because if there's something better they could do around them instead of reacting to my YouTube channel, like spending more time with people that are around them than even looking at this YouTube channel in the first place. If there's something you could do instead of watching this YouTube channel or commenting on this YouTube channel, I honestly prefer you to do that. Because I don't, if I would say hypothetically this YouTube channel was like to get 1 billion views and somehow miraculously I like make a fortune off being a YouTuber and things, I'm just going to do it, that money, just give it to those in need, that's it. I'm very comfortable in my existence with just 2 things: food, clothes, that's it. Even though roof over my head is just temporary, I'd be glad if I didn't even have a roof over my head. But usually 3 things you need is food, a place for you to shelter, to avoid yourself from the weather, because if you're out inside the cold for too long, you end up with pneumonia and you end up in the hospital and then you get sick. So having a roof over your head makes it easier, or shelter, so that you're not in the elements. And if you're from a place like where I am, where it's very cold, you're more likely to suffer hypothermia if you're left out in the cold for too long, and you get very sick, and then you're more prone to having to go to doctors more often then. But I'm somewhat blessed, because as a child I spent most of my time out in the rain, so I could spend like hours out in the rain, out in the cold, and it won't affect me. But funny enough now, if I was to go somewhere that's very warm, it'll literally make me extremely sick. So I'm used to the cold but not heat. Heat makes me very disorientated. Even lights cause me to be very disorientated, because I feel the heat of the light, so it makes me a bit disorientated. So I went to Niagara Benwoods, funny enough, and the heat didn't affect me at all there. But when I came back to Ireland, my home country, when I was hot, the heat nearly killed me. So I acclimatise with the heat in the Niagara Benwoods instead, and over here. So I love it over there. It's my type of place. I won't disable my YouTube comment section like other YouTube channels do, because I don't see the point. This world is one temporary. My life is temporary. The YouTube platform itself could be temporary. Who knows if like YouTube will still be around 5, 10, 15 years down the line. So you never know, like, because like many people spend a lot of time on YouTube, and their channel could get striked down and things. Who knows? You have to kind of be very careful what you post up. Also, like to me, having 1 million views, like I could just make a load of like videos on cats and things. I kind of focus on worldly videos, and I would get more views from that if I say focus on God. But my purpose in existence is to spread the good news of the gospel. It's not to get like 1 million views off YouTube, or make a lot of money off YouTube, because money is just a gift from God that I'm going to use to help people. So that's what I do. I don't like spending money on myself about food. That's all I need is food, just to feed my body so that I can survive, and the rest then I just give to those that need it more. Most just get them food, because all we need in life is food, and that's it. So that's all you should be getting each other. So if someone is like spending a fortune on getting like ties for the kids, that's €100, €50, and €200. That's like a whole like 2 weeks worth of food there for something that's only temporary. So you have to be very wise of how you use your resources, and that's what the fear of God has given me, the wisdom, because the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So many people aren't wise because they live for the now, so they don't live for the future. So yeah, just if they want to leave encouragement comments, they can, or any type of comments I see as encouragement, because I don't have a reaction when people post comments and things. If it's I don't know if it's a reactionary comment doing, to see something on YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, and they kind of disagree with that, but that's okay, because they have a free will to disagree. I don't take any notice of it, because it's not me they have to take account to, it's God's. So I don't judge anyone. If you know me in person, if you were to meet me in person, you'll know that I don't judge, I don't condemn, and I forgive others. But just because you don't condemn and you don't judge doesn't mean that you spend your time around people who are constantly sinning, who are constantly just continue either control you or belittling you or just putting you down. It's about having self-respect for yourself, and most respect from God. When God's trying to help you and the rest of the people around you is trying to destroy you, it's not wise. God gave you gifts to use to help others, and we all have that free will to choose whether we use our gifts to help others or do we use for selfishness and of sinful things. That's every choice everyone has, and I just let people choose, because the number one way I respect God is to respect people's free will, and that's what I do. I respect people's free will. They have a choice if they want to continue down sin and down the destructive cycle, depending on finding happiness and love that they never find, or they could choose to love God and find the source of love. It's their free will to choose, and I just give them the information and knowledge. So that's why I just leave the comments go. If people want to comment on the video or any videos of mine, that's okay. I'd rarely comment back, because I'm not great at texting at all. I'm better at writing. I can write very well, but trying to communicate with people via text, and it's very awkward. I prefer either face to face or to communicate them via the phone. Even I find ringing people not as great. I prefer to talk to people face to face or through video call and things. Or texting is just it's not like a proper way of communication with each other. It's kind of like a lazy way to communicate with each other. It's the way humans have to, so I prefer like to talk face to face. But if there was a way for like texting for people, saying that I'd be here in 5 minutes, just to let them know where you are, something like that, something like, so that they're on the way, something very small like that. But like asking questions back and forth is, I'm not as good, but I do appreciate the comments that people let me, and I try my best to answer it the best I can, and but when I'm not, just to reassure you that when I'm not, what I usually do with my YouTube channel is that if there's a reason why I don't because I don't always answer back my comments things, because I'm always doing the Lord's work, helping others. I'm working in my job, I'm doing that, I'm doing writing, I'm reading the Bible, and I'm studying for driving theory, and I'm doing kind of other things. So I'm always doing something, which is good, because it feeds my soul. So that's many things. So I don't watch TV anymore. I haven't turned my television on in 2 weeks. I don't watch it anymore. I don't read any books about the Bible. really, and when I'm on YouTube it's mostly just upload my YouTube videos and watch some of my other content that my other brothers and sisters in Christ put up, so that I may be able to watch and learn something new. And there's some comedy I watch as well on YouTube that's kind of Christ related or related to how absurd the world is. So it's like some gold mines of comedy there that I learned from them. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video about why I be just going to leave the comments up on the page for people to comment and not disable them like other YouTubers do, and that's their right if they so choose to want to disable the comments if they don't want the comments go through. But I believe in free will and just leaving comments flow. Let it flow, let the comments flow, let the hate and confusion flow, let the comments flow. Are they positive, negative? I don't know, but God knows what's in their mind when they type on the computer and they left a comment on this channel. And then I try and answer. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this brought a smile to your face.